What's up, fool? What's up, fool? Podcast.
What's up, fool? What's up, Beto Duran? What happened here? Why you on cold over there?
He got busted at school. He's at the nurse's office right now.
That fool look like he's instead of a U-Haul truck, bro.
Yeah, I'm getting over COVID. It hit me.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, so check this out.
I thought you were supposed to quarantine for the fight, right?
So last week there was a chance that I was going to do your show, and I even told you I'm going to be in San Antonio quarantining there. It's perfect.
Yeah.
And then our schedules didn't work out. If I had been doing your show last week at this time, they would have busted into my room and grabbed me and taken me out. That's exactly
why.
So last week I tested positive in San Antonio before the Canelo fight for COVID. The Monday before I left, I was fine. I ran 5 miles. I was good. No symptoms. I get to San Antonio, quarantine for a day. The second day of quarantine, you take your test, come back. They're like, hey, you're positive. I'm like, no, I'm not. There's no way. I don't have any. For Channel 2, CBS, I get tested every single week. And I've been negative since September. So I've taken 23 tests. I was fine. And they're like, no, you are. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I had to drive back. They told me, they took me out of the hotel room in San Antonio to another hotel room in a hazmat suit.
Wow.
Yeah. And
like E.T., bro.
Yeah. Exactly.
Elliot.
Yeah. And then they took me out like that. And I was like, whatever, man. That's protocol. So I had to drive back from San Antonio to L.A. So I'm thinking.
We couldn't fly?
You could put on a list. You're not allowed to fly.
Yeah, you can't be flying.
Yeah, I can't fly. So I'm thinking, they told me, you know what? Just take your time. So I'm like, cool. I drove Thursday from San Antonio to El Paso. Cool, nothing. Just chill. And then Friday morning, I drove El Paso to Phoenix. And I'm thinking, I feel so good. I've never been to the Grand Canyon. I'm making this a road trip.
Let's go spread it.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, because
You went out spreading it everywhere?
I didn't feel any symptoms. So I would go to every I went to like University of Texas El Paso. I took a picture of their stadium. Same thing in Arizona and Arizona State. I wasn't around people, but I was like, this is a false positive that I got. It sucked, whatever. I'm wake up that morning thinking I'm going to the Grand Canyon. I am in a pool of sweat. My body just shut down, and all of a sudden the chills. I am coughing. I'm cold. I have the shakes. I'm in the fetal position like at 3 a.m. in Phoenix. Like, what the hell going on? Ma. Like, I'm like, what the hell is going on here? I went from like planning to go to the Grand Canyon to all of a sudden I'm like just cold and shivering. And I'm like, this is crazy. I spent Friday and Saturday in Phoenix just shaking it out. Like, I felt like I was in Train Spotting, like something like that. Like, I've never done drugs. I've just seen the drug movies where everybody's like shaking out like that.
The withdrawals.
Withdrawals. That's what it felt like. I would sleep, and then I would fall asleep cold, and then I'd wake up for like an hour. I'm like, okay, I'm good. And then all of a sudden it hits me again. It was a cycle. I never had a fever, but that's what hit me. So I was in bed Friday, Saturday in Phoenix. Sunday, I was kind of okay. So I drove to LA, and then I got another hotel room, and sure enough, just shaking it out again. And then today is the first day where I've finally out of bed. Like, I feel good enough. And it's crazy. Like, I'm 42 and like in real good shape. Like, I run a lot, and I thought I was fine. And then I got the mild version. And if this is mild, I can't imagine the people who really do get it, man. It's
if you were out of shape.
That's what it is. Because, like I said, Monday before I went to San Antonio, I ran 5 miles really fast. I was good. And like the people, they always say that it's the people with underlying conditions or the ones who are out of shape. And I was able to kick it out of after a couple of days. But like right now, talking to you guys, I get tired. Like, I feel tired. Like, I walked for like 30 seconds today, and I was like, whoa, I felt like a big dude where like all my Samoan homies where they start walking, and all of a sudden, hey, let me sit down right now. Like, that's
you get winded? Like,
oh, bad.
Yeah.
And it's I never got the fever, and I never got like the flu symptoms, but I just had like those shakes. Like, I'm 6'1", I should not be in the fetal position And that's what I was in for a few days. And I'm in Phoenix. I don't remember really Friday, Saturday at all what really happened.
Yeah, I don't understand why I don't get when people take temperatures, like we're taking temperatures at the door, because the people who are out there spreading it around are people who have no symptoms, but they can spread it. Or they have no symptoms, they have no fever. Like Beto, he's sick, he's got some symptoms, but no fever. So he would pass through the door.
It was crazy. So like the Saturday before I left, I had like a little cold. Like I started sneezing. And I just thought it's because it's December. So I took some NyQuil that night, knocked it out, woke up Sunday, went to work at Channel 2, perfectly fine. And when they told me I had a chance to work the Gentefied, which is a big deal, in the month of December, I stopped playing. Because I played golf with a couple of friends. I cut those friends off. I stopped going anywhere. The only place I was really going was the market. And that's it. Like I went back and looked, like everybody who had been in contact with me 2 weeks prior, negative. And I really didn't know anybody. Like I even moved myself into the garage. This is where I'm at. This is my Beto Vision studio in the garage, just to get away from everybody because I didn't want to take a chance of missing out on working that big ass fight. And it still got me. So I guess supposedly it like incubates in your body for a couple weeks.
Yeah, it can be 2 weeks before you feel any symptoms. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was crazy. Like I really thought I had a false positive.
So if you go back 2 weeks before you first started feeling symptoms, do you have any recollection of where you could have been?
Yeah.
Have you been like?
I hadn't, because I was so diligent about not going anywhere. Like I'm I wear my mask, I wear my gloves, I'm doing all that other stuff. And because my parents are older, they're 78, so I made sure to really stay away from everything. And the only place that I would go was twice a week. I'd go to the market. I went to get food a couple times, the gas station a couple times. Like I really can't think of anywhere that I went possible. Like George Perez had his Ganza. I wasn't going to that. Like people were inviting me to go play golf but I'm like, I don't know those people. Those are strangers to me. So they're not in my circle. I'm not going anywhere. So I can't really think. Maybe just being out on the street. It's crazy for me.
It's possible in the market too. I mean, even if you're wearing a mask.
The pump, a lot of people touch it.
Well, you figure everybody's putting gas, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think the surface thing has been shown to be not that not debunked, but not that much of a.
It doesn't last as long as it does.
Yeah, because it doesn't last.
And then the sun, right, kills a lot of that stuff on contact.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I honestly I'm. Like you over there delivering Instacart and all that other stuff to people. Like I don't know how you do that, man. You're crazy.
Oh, that's little COVID right there.
Yeah, I'm a friend like what's it called?
Little COVID.
It's crazy, yeah.
That's scary.
I always wear my mask. Always sanitize everything.
It just getting. Oh, I'm sorry. I was just gonna tell you guys, it's getting closer and closer, huh? More people we know.
Yeah.
Did you get it? You don't know where you got it?
No.
He hasn't figured it out.
And especially, dude, I know somebody like you, Beto, not that like anybody else, but I know you're like a clean and proper dude, so it's like.
Especially when there's something coming up, like the big fight, too.
Yeah, like, the job you have right now, too.
And then also, once for Channel 2, I worked on Sundays, so the month of September, they wouldn't let us in the studio. And October, they're like, okay, we'll go back in the studio. So I'm working on CBS 2 on Sundays. I'm not going to do anything to ruin that. So I really became a hermit and just kind of stayed away from everybody else. Like I would go golf by myself to make sure that there was nobody around me, Like I would go play 9 holes by myself and they're like, oh, here's another person. I'm like, nah, I'm all right. Yeah. And it's like, I wish I had a better story of like, I went to a rave or like I'm an anti-masker and I was doing all this other stuff and all of a sudden it hit me. But like, no, like, it didn't. And then it's like I wasn't going to say anything, but somebody put it out there that I got it. So I was like, all right, I said it. And then I figured there's some young people who follow me who might be like, you know what? Oh, damn, Beto actually got it. Like, oh, it only happens to people I don't know, right? So that's kind of why I put it out there. And then sure enough, I started getting some messages of people like, oh, it's all in your mind. It's just.
Oh, my God, bro.
And I'm like, are you fucking serious now? Are we still doing this? Like, are you still doing this? Like, I'm telling you that me having trouble walking 30 seconds, like that's not in my mind. Like I'm in shape. Like I've run marathons. I know what it's like to, power through it. There is no powering through it when I couldn't get up to even take a shower. So like for 2 days, I would rather just sit in the bed with all this sweat around me instead of getting up and like taking a shower. That's how bad I was. And I'm a guy that takes like 3 showers a day. Like that's
3 showers a day.
Heck yeah, because I'm like
baby
I'm
right
not
here.
clean. I'm not. Yeah. I'm not because I sweat easily. So like anytime I start sweating, I'm like, I gotta take a shower. I gotta shower. Like I'm that guy.
Do you guys think if you're too clean, it gets any little super microscopic little thing to land on you and it enters your body easier?
Not because I'm not a person who gets sick normally.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, it just hit me.